Welcome to America F1, where we are going to do our Formula One movie reaction.
Oh, we're going to do a reaction?
We're going to do a reaction.
Okay.
So, get ready for, I don't know. Did you like the movie? I liked it. I liked it.
It was completely unrealistic, but it was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, that's a 60-year-old Formula One comeback. I mean, that would be like putting Rubens Barrichello back in the car right now.
The cars are totally different.
Yeah, it's like my favorite scene was that they finally showed you how much a Formula One car will beat you up. Remember when he went back to his room and he's lying down on the couch? He was like, "Oh God!"
Oh yeah.
Because if you put me or Sherman in a Formula One car and we're a little younger than Brad Pitt, if we had to do 80 laps in a Grand Prix race, they would have to take us to the hospital when it was
100%. 100%.
And I can drive. Sherman would spin a lot.
I would spin a lot. And then with my back, I don't think I could do it.
No, you could. Remember, you hurt your ribs the first time you were in the car. It's like you got out, and I'm like, "You want to go again?" And he's like, "My ribs kind of hurt. My ribs are hurting. That's so funny.
Think I can do
Okay, let's talk about the premise of this movie. Okay, this is the premise. That Bordeaux, is that his name?
Who?
The lead character dude.
Oh yeah, he's a good actor.
He's a good actor. He was in No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
And he plays the team principal of the worst team in Formula One. That's the premise of the movie.
Right.
And his team is floundering, and he has 9 races till the end of the season where he's going to get shit canned, right?
Yeah.
End of story. So he goes out and gets his, I don't know if they were teammates. I think they were teammates, right?
They were rivals.
Rivals. Okay, they were rivals. He goes out and gets this guy who's living in a van down by the river. Okay, so just the premise right off the bat is like, what is this? But it starts off in Daytona at the 24-hour Rolex, and you see Brad Pitt in his van living down by the river, comes out, puts his uniform on, gets in the car, drives by everyone, which is completely ridiculous because that's not how Daytona works. He would never pass 9 cars. No. Anyways, he wins the Daytona race, and then he just leaves. And he's going
take a trophy.
He doesn't want the trophy.
He gets his little money.
He just wants his little money, and he wants to move on to the next race team. And dude finds him in a laundromat.
His clothes were dirty.
And gives him a first-class ticket to England.
Matter of fact, it wasn't a laundromat.
It was a laundromat.
Oh, yeah, that's
They
right.
ended up at the restaurant.
Because he went to a restaurant after, yeah.
So he goes to England, right?
Wait.
What?
Talk about the so he's in the laundromat. He gives him the chance to be on a Formula One team.
He's like, no, I'm good.
And he's like, no. Like because we didn't know the backstory yet.
Yeah, they showed us the backstory later. He got in a really bad. They used I think it's Martin Donlevy, his accident in the Lotus, where he almost killed himself, and somehow remember they showed him out of the car. That really happened, where he cut his car in half, and I don't know if he ever raced again. But they used that as the backstory. He raced for the old Lotus team when it had the Camel sponsorship on it. So he goes to England, right? I mean, you knew he was going to England when they gave him a first class. I'm like, saying, no, I'm not going to do that. So he shows up in England. This is the part of the movie that, like, it's just laughable.
Should we tell the whole damn movie?
Hell yeah, people are going to watch this. You go see the movie and then watch this. But anyways, he goes to England. They give him a uniform. He's wearing his shoes from 30 years ago from the Lotus team. He goes out in a car that he's never driven before, no simulator work. And he's like, just set the car up like the kid. And if I'm less than a second, I'll just leave now. He goes out there. He crashes the car on his qualifying lap or his lap. And he gets out and he's like, yeah, the car's a piece of junk. It does this, it does that. And then they hire him. It was like...
Well, because he was quick. He was getting quicker.
Yeah, he was getting quicker.
They can tell that he was fast.
And he comes out, and the kid couldn't tell him what was wrong with the car, and he says directly to the technical director, what's wrong with the car? And then the movie is just hilarious. Every scene is like, it's unintentionally funny.
I thought so. I thought it was pretty funny.
It was funny, but there was unintentionally funny at times.
As a Formula One fan and as 2 people who do a Formula One podcast.
And someone who knows how to drive.
I know how to drive, just not as well as you.
You drive well on the freeway.
I know how to drive, just not as good as him. But we thought it was funny, and it probably didn't even mean to be funny.
That's why I said it's unintentionally
for Formula
funny.
One people, we thought it was funny because we're just laughing at things that were happening.
When he gets in the car the first time and crashes the car on his hot lap, he's done now.
Bye.
They're like, no, you're on the team.
he showed enough to make us.
And then the first race in the movie, the two teammates take each other out, which would usually get both of them fired on the spot. And then he tells the technical director how to fix the car, and the technical director was like, well, if you finish a race, I'll fix the car. Like, how are you going to fix the car? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. It was like it takes months and months and months and months and thousands of hours of tweaking it in the wind tunnel to get a bit on the car. And she did it in like a week.
But of course, this movie is for people
who don't watch Formula One.
Don't watch Formula One. And if you don't watch Formula One, I liken it to Drive to Survive, but on the big screen. Because there was a lot of crashes, and for the last place team to crash that many times, they'd be bankrupt. Nowadays, you would have no money.
You was like That's why people like Mick Schumacher don't drive anymore. And what's that kid, Logan Sargent?
Logan Sargent and Crash.
Oh, Lance Stroll gets to crash a car every week because his daddy owns the team. But other than that, and then the end of the movie.
They literally, when you think about it, they literally crashed that car on both sides of the garage 3 times at least.
Oh yeah, every
race. Almost every race.
I want to go back. I want to go back to the Hungarian Grand Prix. That was funny. The way they set that scene up. He's like, on the first lap, he gets a puncture, right? So he's done for the race. So he comes into the pace and he's like, I want to go with Plan C. And they're like, what's Plan C? He's like, put some sauce on the car. And they're like, they'll only last but 10 laps. And he goes, this is why this would never fly in real Formula One. He proceeds to go out and crash into everyone so his teammate can go up a place. They would never let that fly.
Not only that, but they put hards on the tires, and he would not move the car.
Yeah, he was just sitting there for like a minute.
He sat in the car until the team principal changed his mind and put softs on.
Put the softs on there. Like, I had no idea what he was doing, and it took him a minute to figure it out.
He was there at least a minute.
A minute.
And then in real life, that would have never happened. They would have said, "Park the car. You're out of here."
And they're like, fine, put the effing red tires on. It was like, that was so funny. But it took you a minute to figure out what he was up to. And then they're like, and even Sherman figured it out first. I was like, sitting along, what the hell is he doing? And he's holding up the whole pack. And then the scene in Monza, that's the scene that really was lame. Scene, yeah. Because he told him not to pass him until after the Parabolica. And then he tried to pass him going into the Parabolica, and he ends up in the air in a fireball.
And that was kind of like reminded me of the years ago when you're making me forget things. When what's his name got on fire? From Ferrari?
Grosjean?
No, from Ferrari.
You mean Niki Lauda?
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Niki when he got, because he had his hands were burnt. Remember,
his face was burnt. Right. He burned half his face off.
But this likened me to that accident, except Niki came back like right away. Like even though he was remember,
Niki came back in like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, but he was still having burns, and he still had the bandages, and he still was out.
Nowadays, he would never. They wouldn't have let him come back till the next year. He would not have raced that year. No way.
So they let this kid. And do you think like Lewis Hamilton is the producer, one of the producers of this movie? Now, do you think, since the one kid who's the rookie, the black kid, he had all the flash.
He looked just like Lewis Hamilton. He's in the fashionable outfit.
They used some of
they were using him
Lewis's stuff, except Lewis was good right away.
Lewis was Lewis.
Lewis was good right away.
Yeah.
Like this kid didn't seem to put in the work.
He was good. He was just like
but he seemed more
he was arrogant.
He was very arrogant and ass. Like Lewis wasn't like that. Lewis had all the bling.
But I did. The one thing I liked about the movie was, at first everyone thought Brad Pitt's character Hayes was crazy, and then all of a sudden everyone was like behind him, like, "Oh, this dude knows he he's a sneaky fucker. You know,
right? He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's like he's like, this is combat, and we're gonna do it like this, and you got to drive hard, and yada yada yada. And he made JP's character a much better driver. So the next movie, I'll bet you, because there's going to be a sequel.
There's got to be a sequel.
He's going to come out. He's going because the last scene in the movie.
Don't tell the last scene.
Tell him everything.
Don't tell the last. If you don't want to hear the last scene of the movie, look away.
This is what I loved about this movie, and this is why I thought it was kind of cool, but kind of bullshit at the same time. When all the credits are going down, they show Brad Pitt going to the Baja 1000 and getting in like a doom buggy.
That was cool.
And they're like, we can't pay you much. And no one knew who he was, which was hilarious, right? It was like, everyone would know who that dude was. A 70-year-old man winning a Grand Prix. I mean,
well, you keep aging him as he goes on. He started out in the 50s. Now he's in the 60s. Now he's 70 years old. Next thing you know is like grandpa. He's like 95.
95 years old.
Now,
in Formula One years, he's like 320 years old.
So if you're a Formula One fan and you've been a Formula One fan
don't expect this to be
prior to Drive to Survive, not during, prior, don't take in your Formula One knowledge and expect it to be that.
Yeah, because it's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a definite movie. And it kind of reminded me, the story is the same as The Natural, a baseball movie from the 1980s.
Yeah, expand on that, Mike, because that was a good point.
Well, it's like I was like sitting there watching it, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of like The Natural, because it's in The Natural. There's a never have been who was going to be a star, but he got shot by some crazy woman, and he disappeared for 20 years, and then he just shows up when he's like 40 years old. Mm-hmm. Which in baseball years is like 70 years old in Formula One years. And he's this great baseball player, right? And it's like Brad Pitt shows up, he's 150 years old, and he's this great race car driver who's still great. It's just he got hurt when he was a kid, and he could never had his... It's the same thing. It's the same story.
Same storyline. And if you've never seen the movie The Natural with Robert Redford...
Who did that movie? Because it's a real pretty movie. It's not really about baseball.
Awesome movie.
Awesome. The cinematography in that movie was really good. It's a
really when he hit that home run off of the lights and everything. Yeah. That was awesome.
Or when he hit the cover off the ball. Yeah, that was pretty
That's
cool.
a great movie, The Natural, and you could see similarities with this Formula One movie.
It's the same. It's basically the same story. It's just
in a different.
Formula One is the backdrop. So
as a Formula One fan, would you like this movie? I think you would. I think you'll get a kick out of it.
It's a definite popcorn movie. It's not. That's why I keep saying it's unintentionally funny, because a lot of the shit they did in here, it's like you're like, oh, come on, that's not. I had to stop.
That would never happen.
I'd have to stop myself and be like, okay, this is just a movie. Don't go down that. I mean,
just the scene where he gets in the car for the first time.
That was so
alone,
unrealistic.
Because just the steering wheel is so different and so complicated to what it was when he was driving. He would have to study just the steering wheel for probably a week.
The steering wheels in all the race cars nowadays are pretty much the same. Like he was in that Porsche.
Yeah.
They're basically the same steering wheel. The buttons do different things, but it's like they know how. I mean, it's like a video game nowadays. You know what to. But he shows up and never been in the car. But that was no.
Yeah, you're not going to just show up and never been in a car.
No.
And then
there's no, because you have to go do a simulator day at least for.
No.
And I like when he was.
This is Brad Pitt.
Remember the scene he was in when he was doing the simulator work, and he's like, "He took half a second off the car," and it's like, "No, he didn't. The car's not on the track yet." It's like. Anyways, it's super funny. Like, how long has he been in the simulator? All day. I'm like, they have guys that do the simulator work. That's all they do is sit in the simulator all day.
Well, he was going to the simulator because he wanted to get a grips on the car.
Well, he was trying to make the car better. Is what he was trying to do.
Because he was doing it at different ride heights and different setups.
Yeah. It was like sort of nonsense. And
they do that in real life, Mike.
Well, but I love the villain in this movie.
Did you like him?
I did. I thought he was great. I thought they needed a villain because they didn't put any. If they would not put that guy in the movie as someone to be the villain, and he was kind of pretended to be like a dingbat at the beginning of the movie. He was like, I don't know much about racing, right. I was like, yeah, you do.
Yeah,
turns out, yes, he did.
And he wasn't in the movie a lot, but he was just enough. Yeah. So. My recommendation for the movie, if it was rated on a scale of 1 to 5, I would give it I'll give you two different ratings. I'm going to give you a rating as someone who never watched Formula One, and I'm going to give you a rating for somebody who lives and dies for Formula One. So as somebody who never watched Formula One, I would say go see it. It's probably a 4, maybe a 4.5. Because if you
Why'd you go 1 to 5, not 1 to 10?
Because I'm doing 1 to 5.
Right.
You can do 1 to 10 if you want. I'm doing 1 to 5. Well, I'm doing 1 to 5.
You do 1 to 5.
Well, we're talking about me right now, not you.
We're talking about me.
We're talking about me.
I'm the star of this
show.
No,
you're not the star of this show.
I'm the star of the show.
You get what is this? You can't. You don't even know how to clean your jacket. You're not the star of the show. You can't even clean your jacket. Like this is a grown man who can't clean his jacket. He's eating the food off of his jacket. So that tells me all you need to know.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a scale.
Hey, wait, I'm not finished.
What?
Don't cut me off. Let me finish.
You said you're giving it a 4.
I'm giving it if you're a Brad Pitt fan, it's a 4.5. If you have to see Brad Pitt, it's 4.5. If you're not a Brad Pitt fan, it's a 4.
Well,
okay?
We forgot to tell the scene about...
Now, I'm not finished.
I want to tell one thing.
Shut up. Now, if you are a Formula One fan, it's definitely a 3.8 to 4. Because it's a 4 because you're gonna laugh your ass off.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Unintentionally funny. Just remember that.
It's a 3.8 because all the things that you'll see that aren't realistic that you're gonna be like shaking your head going, like, this never would happen. This would never happen.
And then you have to realize it's a movie. Hello, Sparky.
If you go with a good frame of mind, just wanting to be entertained, you will be. Now you're up. Did you get all that junk off?
What junk?
Did you eat it?
I had a little snack.
Don't wipe it on my carpet.
Well, you just gotta vacuum it later. That's all. Anyways, okay. If you're a Formula One fan, you'd give this movie a 0. You'd just be sitting there like that first scene where he gets in the Formula One car the first time, and he's like, "Well, if I'm not a second off his pace and with his setup, you guys can get rid of me." It's like, okay. And then he just hops into a Formula One car that he's never been in before. It's just like, okay, yeah, he's going to go out. And then he goes out and he spins once, which is pretty... He would have spun a lot if this was true. If it was true. If he actually...
because you're trying to find a limit.
If you took me and put me in a Formula One car, it would just be spin a lot. It would be like, there's different modes to on the steering wheels to do different things that I know nothing about. It would be a disaster. It would not. It was a disaster. He crashed the car.
Right, it was. Yeah.
But my favorite scene in the whole movie, one of my favorite scenes, is when him and the technical director, because this was a setup that this was going to be the romantic part of the movie, where she goes and answers the door in her suite after they made sweet love.
Yeah.
And he comes to the door and he's like, "Is Hayes here?" And she's like, "No, how dare you speak to me that way?" He's on the balcony. So you're going to have to suffer through the little romantic thing in the middle, but it was okay. It was.
What's your rating for if you're not a Formula One fan? If you've never seen Formula One?
I'd give it like a 7-ish.
Out of 10?
Yeah, 7-ish.
So overall, would you recommend the movie?
Yeah, it was. If you want to go, it was entertaining. It was fun. It's you know what's going to happen. So, in fact, at one point, me and Sherman bet who was going to win the race at the end, and I picked Sonny, and he picked JP, and I said, "There's no way they're going to let the black guy win at the end of this race. There's no."
And
way.
I was like, "Well, at least he's alive."
That's a good. Hey, he made it through the first.
He made it through the whole movie, and he didn't die.
The whole movie.
Oh, all right. So. If you haven't seen the Formula One F1 movie yet with Brad Pitt, I would say it's a definite good movie. You could actually take your family because there's
very little anything in it.
There's no sex scenes around. They're kissing. There's no swearing. So it's a family friendly movie except for the crash.
And definitely if you have an IMAX screen.
Yeah, see it on if you have an IMAX screen, you have to see it on IMAX.
Because it was filmed in IMAX. So
right.
Watching it at home, I don't think I would watch it at home.
No.
It was, and
I mean, I'll watch it when it comes out later on, on Apple.
It's already on Apple.
What is it?
Yeah, my girlfriend watched it the other night.
Oh, you can pay for it on Apple? Or you can just get it for free?
If you have Apple,
I have Apple.
Then look it up. It's probably on right now.
No, I think you have to pay for it though, right?
I don't think so.
Well, anyway, I would see it in IMAX. I would go to, it's a great date movie. It's a great movie for Formula One fans. It's just a good movie. It's a good, feel good movie. You'll be entertained. And if you're a Formula One fan, you'll laugh your ass off.
You'll laugh your ass off.
And with that note,
we bid you a fond farewell from F1 movie critics.
Keep on racing, everybody.
Okay. Here we have practice tomorrow.